And I will ask the deputy clerk to please call the roll.
Good morning. On the attendance roll call, Commissioners Bujak, Burl, DeBoer, Minority Vice Chair Faber, Commissioners Halstead, Hennessy, Hildenbrand, Coleman, LeGrand, McLeod,
Here.
Merchant, Morales, Morse, Oliver King, Pekla,
Here.
Ponstein, Sparks, Steck,
Here.
Vice Chair Teal, Commissioners Womack,
Here.
and Chair Green.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have 19 present, 2 absent. You have a quorum.
Thank you. We will move on to agenda item number 3, which is the invocation, and I will call on Commissioner LeGrand.
Good morning. When I was looking for some inspiration this morning, I was thinking about our rapidly upcoming 250th birthday. So I looked back to the Founding Fathers. And what I'm going to read this morning comes actually from the Constitutional Convention, which was June of 1787. And this is a request from Benjamin Franklin to the president of the convention. He was not yet president of the United States, George Washington, that they institute an invocation, that they institute prayer at the beginning of their sessions. And before you get your hopes up, the meeting was adjourned without voting on it. It was seconded, but it was never voted on. Mr. President, the small progress we have made after 4 or 5 weeks close attendance and continual reasonings with each other, our different sentiments on almost every question, several of the last producing as many no's as ayes, is methinks a melancholy proof of the imperfection of the human understanding. We indeed seem to feel our own want of political wisdom, since we have been running about in search of it. We've gone back to ancient history for models of government and examined the different forms of those republics, which, having been formed with the seeds of their own dissolution, now no longer exist. And we have viewed modern states all around Europe, but find none of their constitutions suitable to our circumstances. In this situation of this assembly, groping, as it were, in the dark to find political truth, and scarce able to distinguish it when presented to us, how has it happened, sir, that we have not hitherto once thought of humbly applying to the Father of lights to illuminate our understandings? I have lived, sir, a long time, and the longer I live, the more convincing proofs I see of this truth, that God governs in the affairs of men. And if a sparrow cannot fall to the ground without his notice, is it probable that an empire can rise without his aid? We've been assured, sir, in the sacred writings that except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. I firmly believe this, and I also believe that without his concurring aid, we shall succeed in this political building no better than the builders of Babel. We shall be divided by our little, partial, local interests. Our projects will be confounded, and we ourselves shall become a reproach and a byword down to the future age. And what is worse, mankind may hereafter from this unfortunate instance despair of establishing governments by human wisdom and leave it to chance, war, and conquest. Let's pray. Father of lights, illuminate our understanding. Let us not be divided by our little, partial, local interests. We admit the perfection of human understanding. Help us to carry out the government of Kent County with wisdom. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Commissioner LeGrand. We'll move on to agenda item number 5, which is the special order of business. And we have the financial overview today. I'd like to welcome Fiscal Services Director Jeff Dode. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Green. Thanks for having me today. Good morning, Commissioners and staff. So yeah, today we'll briefly go over the FY26 financial overview. This is available online. We stopped printing copies a few years ago, so it's under the budget page under fiscal transparency. So I can use the online document here and then go through some of the highlights of it. So what is the purpose of this financial overview? This is an annual presentation. I really should have Scott up here presenting because he did most of the heavy lifting and putting it together, so maybe next year, but I appreciate all his help on this. This document is primarily used for rating agency presentations, and then for our annual continuing disclosures, which we have to do for whenever we have bonds outstanding, we have to post this to a website called EMMA, and any bond issued throughout the country is available on there, and the continuing disclosures along with the audit are posted to all of our outstanding bonds. So obviously this was a really good book this year because we had both S&P and Moody's give us our AAA confirmations, and we never had a call. So they reviewed our documents, asked a few questions, and then we never even needed a virtual or any kind of call with them, and they renewed our AAA. So a very thorough and thoughtful document. I'm going to go through just, again, some summary pages. Pages 8 through 12 show the economic profile of the county. If I look at page 10 here, one of the key factors that the rating agencies use are the per capita income growth. You can see we've had 131.1% change in Kent County since 2000, surpassing the state amount, and it's really grown up to 73,492. So that's a really good stat that they like to look for. On pages 13 through 18, we talk about taxation. Let's see, page 15. Talks about or shows our taxable and SEV growth over time. You can see we've had an 8.9% SEV change from last year and a 6.3% increase in taxable value. So very strong growth. The values have slowed a little bit over the last several high years. Of course, inflation has come down as well, so that plays a part. The state of Michigan limits how much we can increase taxable value by 5% or the lesser of inflation. You can see it's slowed a little bit, but still strong growth. Page 19, we'll go to state revenue sharing. You can see it's flat year over year. We're actually projecting a little bit lower amount than 2025 and the 26 budget year. You can see the low year in 23 was when we changed our fiscal year, so that was over a 9-month period. But still steady, solid growth, or not growth, but revenues from the state of Michigan. Page 21, we talk about debt a lot when we issue. You can see we have a 1% debt outstanding. That's a percentage of our SEV. We're allowed up to 10%. So we have 4.6 billion of capacity, or 4.6 billion of capacity. Sorry, 4.6 billion of capacity to issue debt. Of course, I'd never recommend doing that, but we are well below the state minimum. If you go down further in the page, you can see our net debt is only a 0.1%, so very, very low. The rest of our debt is self-supported. Page 25, we talk about our pension a lot. You can see our net position at 95%, very strong on our pension. And then the VEBA as well on page 29. You can see 93.95% net position on our VEBA, our retiree health care, so very strong positions on our OPEB costs, which is another factor that the rating agencies use quite a bit. Pages 33 through 37 talk about our cash position. Looking on page 33 directly, you can see our total cash, $569 million. It's down a little bit from last year. A lot of that is the Convention Arena Authority pulled their assets and did their own investing now with another firm. So that was almost a $20 million drop, and then spend down of ARPA funds also contributed to a drop in the cash position. Page 38, they talk about unions a lot. They want to make sure our contracts are settled and we don't have a lot of potential risk with outstanding contracts. So all of our contracts were settled, and as you know, we're currently doing wage reopeners for most of the groups, and hopefully most of those are settled soon. So that's something the agencies look for as well. Moving on to page 39, we talk about the general fund, which is always a key component. You can see fund balance increased to $116.8 million, just about $3 million, which was in line with what we projected. We continue to monitor our total fund balance. We do believe we're going to need to change the policy up from 40% to maybe somewhere between 45 and 50%. We'll probably have a recommendation on that at the end of this fiscal year. Moving on to page 41, which is our debt service. You can see we have 2.7% of debt service per general fund expenditures and transfers, which again is a very, very low number. Talk about DTANs before. As you know, we've issued bonds again this year to fund DTANs. The goal is to still self-fund those. You can see we have $20.2 million in fund balance in that fund, so we're getting close, not quite able to do that yet, but that's still the ultimate goal. Moving on to page 49, which is our capital fund. See very healthy position in our capital, $75.6 million. Most of those are all assigned to projects. Other than the strategic capital balance is also included in there, which has an unassigned balance to it at this point, of right around $44 million. Moving on to the airport, pages 51 to 60. They like to see how our airport's doing, so we put them in this report as well. They had strong revenue growth last year, up to $36.8 million for operating income. So very, very healthy. We always like to look at their debt service coverage as well, which is on the next page, I believe. Yeah, you can see 2.2 debt service coverage, which typically the rating agencies like a minimum of 1.5, so they're well above that ratio. Page 57, lodging excise tax, which is always an area that we're interested in keeping a close watch on. You can see the growth in taxes, primarily due to 3% that was added. And then you can see the additional expenses of DeVos Place debt service to the city of Grand Rapids, the amphitheater soccer stadium debt, and then we had our last payment of the $50 million commitment for the new amphitheater this year. The general fund is still owed $8 million. We did not transfer any in 2025. We hope to transfer $1 million in 2026. We'll evaluate that as the year goes by. So yeah, good strong growth in the lodging excise tax. There's an article last week that showed over 90% occupancy, I think, on the opening weekend of the amphitheater. So it was very, very unheard of. Is that a wasp flying around there? Anyway, there was sorry.
Rambo was trying to kill it yesterday.
Yeah, I know, I'm allergic, so yeah, I'm just gonna stay away from it, but anyway. Moving on to, let's see, page 56, the correction and detention fund. Oh, I missed that one, I went backwards, sorry, I missed a page. 20.9 million fund balance, we're holding most of that. We have, once the millage expires in 29, we have another 6 or 7 years of payments left, so we want to maintain at least a minimum fund balance in there to make those payments should that millage not get renewed. So we always keep a close eye on that. You can see this year we transferred almost $19 million to the general fund to cover operations. And then pages 59 through 71 are all our fiscal policies. They like to see those renewed or reviewed at least every 3 years. And then pages 72 through the end, we always put in recent news. So that's a quick overview of the report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Great, thanks, Jeff. Any questions for Jeff on the financial overview? Commissioner Pakla.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Jeff, thanks for being here. I am always appreciative when these reports are uneventful. It's not that they're unexciting, but they're uneventful, right? And that means we're in a good position. I was noting when you talked about the taxable value increase and reminding us of the values that increase for individual homeowners of CPI or 5%, whichever one's lower. The column that we have on that page actually shows some increases in the taxable value that are greater than 5%. Is that because of uncapping of properties?
Uncapping in new construction, yes.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, great. And then can you remind me why we did not have a transfer from the outstanding, the $8 million of outstanding balance of the amphitheater, or not the amphitheater project, the lodging and excise tax in 2025? Why didn't we make that transfer?
Yeah, with all the new pieces of that particular puzzle, we had the 3% starting in January, so we only had 9 months history of that. And then we had the new payments to Grand Rapids plus the repayment to the CAA. We weren't comfortable expending any more fund balance until we saw a more stable, not stable, but more history of how that fund is performing. So we decided to hold off on that for this year.
And do we have a policy of the maximum that we would transfer in any given year? Are we looking at
Just per budget.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's not the situation that we'd say, we're only going to transfer at max $1 million a year, so we're at least 8 years out from it.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
If the
Thank you.
budget allows it, we can transfer it sooner, sure.
Great, I appreciate it.
Commissioner LeGrand.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for the report. It was very quick.
Yeah, it was, sorry.
I almost missed, or maybe I did miss. You talked about possibly increasing the fund balance, and I wonder if you could just quick recap that and what percentage you said you would increase it and the reason for doing so.
So the general fund, so let me find it real quick, on page 39. Let me pull that up a second. So you can see we're at 116.7 million in fund balance. We went up just about 3 million. So we monitor that closely. I don't have the cash flow page from the quarterly report. It's really about cash flow. So with our change in to the 9/30 fiscal year, and our cash flow in June and July gets pretty low. So we dip pretty low into the reserve. So at 40%, I don't think it's sufficient to keep sufficient cash into the general fund. So we've been looking to grow that, and also it has to keep up with the growth in expenditures. So I'm thinking right now it's going to be about 47% is the recommended fund balance percent, and that's just to keep the cash flow sufficient to pay our bills, basically.
Okay, but this seems like it's always a little bit of a moving target.
It is always a little target, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair Green. So, Jeff, every year that I was on the commission before I was the chair would get up and go to New York and meet with the rating agencies.
Right.
And they would have this wonderful weekend. The first year I was chair, they stopped that.
I think that was COVID, wasn't it?
And it was COVID, but I understood that they switched
Brought it
to,
back, Stan, just as soon as you were done. Just didn't tell anybody.
Now I hear that they don't even need a Zoom call, and they simply do their own analysis. Should we take that as sort of an additional affirmation of the integrity of our operations, or they just change their practices?
No, most agencies still require calls, at least at a minimum. Sometimes they'll bring the raters on site just so they can see the local economy in person, which is helpful. We've done that before. They've come into town. But I've done probably 30 or more bond issues in my career, and I've never traveled anywhere to do them. It's always been over the phone. I've never had it where they've renewed them without a call. This was the first year for that. So it's very, very, shows
That's
a very-
reassuring to us.
Very, yes.
Okay,
Exactly.
thank you.
Just want to clarify for the record that I'm not going to New York. That has not happened.
And most of the information is in this book, so they're very intelligent people. They read through it all, and they're like, okay, this is pretty solid stuff, so.
Other questions or comments for Jeff? All right, I don't see any. Jeff, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We appreciate it. We will move on to agenda item number 6, which is public comment related to agenda action items. Give me your name and address for the record and which item you're speaking to. Good morning, D.
Grand Rising, everybody. I'm D. Jones. I stay in the Orchard Apartments at 9101D, and I'm speaking on the approval of the Community Action Funds. So, I heard one of the commissioners speak about community action. I know that community action provides a lot of services, especially around affordable housing. Now, I support affordable housing as long as it's truly affordable. I know that we have a housing shortage and everything else, but there's something that I'd like for you guys to prioritize, and that's the local, county, and community when it comes to these affordable housing projects. There's an opportunity, and there's always opportunities for constituents across our county that have, once you guys put out bids and you guys have funding, sometimes these local communities and organizations don't get funding. But you guys can sometimes outsource this or have another organization that's outside of our county that doesn't understand our needs here. I mean, I understand, I'm pretty sure everybody understands the need for affordable housing. But I think that there should be a priority of local organizations, local construction firms, local nonprofits that develop affordable housing to get access to these funds first before these outside organizations get access to funding. I know that the county can do this. I know that you guys cannot have an outside organization that's from another state come here and put in a bid and then get affordable housing funded before the other local nonprofits or for-profits here that build affordable housing, or what you call affordable housing. And so I'm asking every single commissioner in the county government to listen to the staff's recommendations. If there ever is a bid or opportunity for people to use these community action funds, to actually prioritize the local community, the local nonprofits, the local for-profits that build affordable housing. Because I've seen this, I've heard politicians say, oh, I care for the local community, I care for the local nonprofits, I care for our city, I care for our county, our state. But then these other organizations that just have offices here can come here and they can sit here and bid, and then you guys can just give it to the big companies. That's why I'm glad that the ballot initiative is probably going to make it there, because it's funny that AIPAC actually goes against Republicans and Democrats when it comes to politics. So I'm asking you guys, for the integrity of the community, for the constituents that believe in you, when there are local organizations, because you guys run to serve your local communities, that you prioritize the local communities and organizations, because there's a system that'll go against you regardless of your party if you don't bow down to them people. And I don't think that y'all look like y'all people that like to bow down and take and have to answer to people. I'm pretty sure y'all got a brain of y'all own and y'all know how to think for yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment related to agenda action items only? All right, I see none. With that, we will move on to agenda item number 7, which is the consent agenda, and I will call on Commissioner LeGrand.
Thank you, Chair. I move the consent agenda up for today's meeting.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Sparks. Questions, comments, discussion on the consent agenda? I see none. This is a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
On the passage of the consent agenda, Commissioners Bujek.
Yes.
Burl. DeBoer.
Yes.
Majority Vice Chair Faber.
Yes.
Commissioners Halsted.
Yes.
Hennessy.
Yes.
Hildebrand.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
LeGrand.
Yes.
McLeod.
Yes.
Merchant.
Yes.
Morales. Morse.
Yes.
Oliver King.
Yes.
Pekla.
Yes.
Ponstein.
Yes.
Sparks.
Yes.
Steck.
Yes.
Vice Chair Teal.
Yes.
Commissioners Womack.
Yes.
Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 19 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. The consent agenda is adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We'll move to agenda item 8, and for that, I will call on Commissioner Womack.
I'd like to move Resolution 8A of today's date, approve the KCC 630 Annual Operations Funding.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Oliver King. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? I see none. This is a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Resolution 56, Commissioners Bujek.
Yes.
Burl. DeBoer.
Yes.
Minority Vice Chair Faber. Commissioners Halsted.
Yes.
Hennessy.
Yes.
Hildebrand.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
LeGrand.
Yes.
McLeod.
Yes.
Merchant.
Yes.
Morales. Morse.
Yes.
Oliver King.
Yes.
Pekla.
Yes.
Ponstein.
Yes.
Sparks. Steck.
Yes.
Vice Chair Teal.
Yes.
Commissioner Womack.
Yes.
Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, you have 19 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We'll move to agenda item 8B, and I will call on Commissioner McLeod.
Thank you, Chair. I move Resolution 57 of today's date, the BSNA Software Upgrade Capital Improvement Program.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Hildebrand. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? I see none. This is again a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
On Resolution 57, Commissioners Bujek.
Yes.
Burl. DeBoer.
Yes.
Minority Vice Chair Faber. Commissioners Halsted. Hennessy. Hildebrand.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
LeGrand.
Yes.
McLeod.
Yes.
Merchant. Morales. Morse.
Yes.
Oliver King.
Yes.
Pekla.
Yes.
Ponstein.
Yes.
Sparks.
Yes.
Steck.
Yes.
Vice Chair Teal.
Yes.
Commissioner Womack.
Yes.
Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 19 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We'll move to agenda item 8C, and I will call on Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair Green. I move approval of Resolution 58 of today's date, which calls for the approval
approval of the retention of 6 additional FTE assistant prosecuting attorneys and the acceptance of $4,820,000 from the state for funding.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Bujak. Questions, comments, discussion on this agenda item? Commissioner Faber.
Thank you, Chair. This came in front of policy on Tuesday, but we didn't have our prosecutor here. So one of the questions came up around sort of parity with the public defender and how this aligns. I know it's a little bit of apples to oranges, but would love to hear your take.
We're
Morning,
still behind.
Prosecutor Becker.
Yeah, we're still behind. I mean, they still have 37 attorneys. We'll have, when you compare criminal to criminal, I mean, that's what it is. They have 37 attorneys. We have 37 attorneys, but I have 4 in family doing child support. I have 7 in juvenile. They don't do any juvenile cases. And then I have 4 appeals. They don't have appeals attorneys. So it gets us closer. It doesn't provide exact parity. We'll still be under, but I think it does enough. I mean, quite frankly, I think it does enough that I think we'll be okay.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, discussion on this item? Thank you, Prosecutor Becker. Appreciate it. This is again a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Resolution 58, Commissioners Bujak.
Yes.
Burl. DeBoer. Minority Vice Chair Faber.
Yes.
Commissioners Halsted. Hennessy. Hildebrand.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
LeGrand.
Yes.
McLeod.
Yes.
Merchant. Morales. Morse. Oliver King. Pakla.
Yes.
Ponstein. Sparks. Steck. Vice Chair Teal. Commissioner Womack. Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, of 19 yeas, 0 nays, the motion passes. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We'll continue on the order of resolutions, and for item 8D, I will call on Commissioner DeBoer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move Resolution 59 of today's date, appointment of Chief Medical Examiner and Deputy Chief Medical Examiners.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Oh, that was a tie. I'm going to think I heard Commissioner Hennessy first, so we'll go with that. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? All right. I see none. We're not giving Rob any break today. This is again a roll call vote. You're in your keep over there. Will you please call the roll?
On Resolution 59, Commissioners Bujak. Burl. DeBoer. Minority Vice Chair Faber.
Yes.
Commissioners Halsted. Hennessy. Hildebrand.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
LeGrand.
Yes.
McLeod.
Yes.
Merchant. Morales. Morse. Oliver King. Pakla.
Yes.
Ponstein. Sparks. Steck. Vice Chair Teal. Commissioners Womack. Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, of 19 yeas, 0 nays, the motion passes. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, we'll move to agenda item number 9, public comment related to general county matters. If anyone with the public wishes to address the board, please give us your name and address. You have up to 3 minutes. Welcome back, Dee.
Hello, Grand Rising, everyone. I'm just here to educate y'all about what happened at the school board. So I'm pretty sure y'all heard, we were recommended by JLL, the consultant firm that the school district hired, and the GRPS facility staff. GRPS chose to go against the recommendations of the consultant firm and the school district facility staff and chose this other organization. Now, I'd like to apologize to y'all because I asked y'all for y'all support. I asked y'all for y'all signatures. I've done everything I could. I put my love, my passion, my energy into this to truly prioritize the communities, to go against systems that I know are against poor Caucasian communities, poor Black communities, everyone. It's a system of people and people because systems also involve people, not just tech. But there are systems of people that are against us, I believe, but also just a broader community. And I just have to speak out about this. I don't like the thing that Jose, Sarah, Eleanor, Amber, and Richard has done to the community. They have gone against the community. And our community didn't ask for 59 affordable housing units. That's not what the community asked for. They asked for a community hub. We've been at this for years and years and years and engaged with our community and truly did grassroots local organizing, truly the grassroots local organizing. Even me coming to ask you guys for your signatures. I've done all of this stuff just for our school board to betray us, the people that we're supposed to trust and believe that have the best the best intentions for the community, and I just believe that we need to truly hold people accountable. I'm gonna hold y'all accountable. I really stand on business. I'm not a violent person, but I am a fighter. I'm a real fighter. I'm a real fighter for justice, for equality, for health care, for affordable housing, for economic justice. For true economic justice, I'm a true fighter. Because I have to fight. I have to fight for my community. I have to fight for poverty. I have to fight for struggle. I have to fight this every day. I have to fight systems. I have to fight systems every day. I have to fight against politicians that lie and deceive us, that take companies, big companies and billionaires funding, and then lie and deceive the communities all across the United States. I have to fight this every day, and y'all do too. I'm tired of it. That's why I brought up AIPAC, because I thought AIPAC was just against Democrats, but they against Republicans too. They against y'all too if y'all don't serve the interests of Israel, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. If y'all don't serve the legacy financial institutions. That's why cryptocurrency and digital assets is so important. Y'all need to put that into your financial policy, because y'all need policies that actually serve the constituents, the broader community, not legacy financial systems that you guys know are against you also. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment related to general county matters this morning? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Anthony Torres. I reside at 5246 Swanwood Street Southeast in Caledonia. My current position is the Program Director of the Kent County Veterans Treatment Court, a state-certified, fully functional, problem-solving specialty court that resides in 62A under the auspices of Judge Pablo Cortez. I am here today to speak on behalf of my program. In essence, I would like to see, and I've been working with some of the people here, Administrator Vandenberg, Deputy Administrator, excuse me, Jenny James, and I've met with Commissioner Halstead, and I want to also acknowledge Commissioner DeBoer, who's been to our program, Commissioner Steck, who's been in support of this program, and also I know Commissioner Sparks and Commissioner Womack has been to our court as well. What I'm here today, and I understand I have a couple of minutes, and I'll be brief. It is my fully intent at this point in time going forward, and this program has been involved for 11 years in this community, to go forth and instead of having our funding dictated by the Kent County Veterans Services Office, to have it being dictated by the Finance and Infrastructure Committee like any other county court. The reason being, in my rationale, is that these funds that come from the Kent County Veterans Millage come to the Finance and Infrastructure Committee, okay? And 63rd District Court gets their funding from the Finance and Infrastructure Committee. These funds, we're not asking for a lot, okay? There's only 2 people that are actually being funded. Actually, 1 person is being funded. But we have additional needs that we're not meeting by statute, okay? And I've been doing this for 11 years, and ever since I've been doing this, I have to be going and arguing and fighting and justifying why we need additional money, okay? Expenses don't stay static, as you all know, okay? I don't like coming up here to beg and ask for your support, okay? But I fully would like to have a meeting, a presentation with multiple people that support our program in front of the Finance and Infrastructure Committee. And I would bring any kind of data that you want that's not already being collected, okay? So that's what I would like to say. I would like your support, and I definitely would love to get in front of the Finance and Infrastructure Committee, maybe in July, if not later, to put a presentation and as to justify why we would like this transition to that committee to distribute funding. Bottom line, we are not a nonprofit. We are not a for-profit business. We are a fully functional state district court, also authorized under statute to adjudicate and take felony cases. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Anyone else for public comment related to general county matters? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Shannon Tanis, and I'm a displaced person in Kent County. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I ran into Al at the Sheriff's Department, and I thanked him about the Chief Probate Judge Avery Rose making a great decision in the Trust Bird case. The advocates are very thankful and appreciative that he made the right decision. But at the same time that I was at the Sheriff's Department, I was dealing with the matter of an improper tow. And I came to find out that this tow company has not been on the Sheriff's Department's roster since the beginning of the year. But they were still using the Sheriff's Department's name and old deputy information that was completely years outdated. Not to mention, I found other deceptive practices about this company and other matters. Then, when I went to assert the matter in district court to exercise my right per the statute, the 63rd District Court, or no, was it 61st? Sorry, was not exercising and allowing the petition, the DC 90 form, to be exercised regarding a private matter, and also the fact for improper tow, because the way the form is worded, it's for impoundments and abandonments, and it references a notice that you're supposed to receive from the Secretary of State, and none of that really applies to me. So I have all this recorded and documented and stuff. I'm not going to go into all the details of the nefariousness, but I do have a hearing coming up on the 26th before a magistrate. And I think the tow company thought they were just going to win in their favor like they normally do. And that is not the case here because I came with Supreme Court authority regarding this statute and that their signs weren't in compliance, and that private property in this instance does not apply to a mobile home park because the way the MCL codes a mobile home park, they are regulated by code, ordinance, and statutes to be regulated regarding public safety, water, all those good things, towing, you know. So I just kind of want to bring it to your attention, but at the same time, this mobile home park is retaliating against my daughter because I exercised my rights in court and is trying to evict her. The tow company hired an attorney after they realized they weren't going to win, and the attorney is with the same firm that is representing the mobile home park. My daughter is a DV victim. Since April 4th. She had been in a relationship that this had been going on for the past 8 months. So what I had filed in FOIA, we're coming right back around because I tried to file in court to
Thank
protect
you.
a vulnerable individual. Thank you for the extra time, Chair.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Ms. Tanis. Anyone else for public comment related to general county matters? All right, I see none. Thank you very much. We'll move to agenda item number 10, which is the administrator's report.
And I have nothing today.
All right. Thank you, Al. Move to agenda item number 11, which is the report from the chair. I do have a brief report from the chair. There was a letter in your board packet from me. We have received a request from the Sheriff's Department to review and consider a proposal for the corrections and detention millage. So I am pursuant to Standing Rule 6, setting up a corrections and detention millage review committee, which will consist of myself as the chair, Vice Chair Teal as the vice chair, Minority Vice Chair Faber as a member, Commissioner Burrell as a member, and Commissioner Womack as a member. So there is, the committee charge is in your packet. That is just some information for you all. And we intend to meet within the next couple of weeks for our first meeting on that, working on the schedule. I have nothing else to report. So we will move to agenda item number 12, Commissioner comments. Any Commissioner comments this morning? Commissioner Ponstein.
Thank you, Chair Green. So I listened to Dee Jones speak a lot, and when we talk about affordable housing, that's what people say, affordable housing. And after watching what the city of Seattle considers affordable housing, I was taught long ago, when I sat on the land bank, that, the word quality needs to be ahead of that affordable housing, because what we stand for affordable housing is really not a living space for people to thrive in. So I just wanted to throw that out. So, update on technology, City of Granville faced it this morning. We had the traffic lights out, we had power, and it was amazing to see that humans actually knew how to stop and let other people go. And there was actually less backup through the downtown of my beautiful hometown. So I'll just throw that out. And then just in the news, we've got the World Cup. We got the Knicks that pulled out a big one last night. Carolina tied it up. We're all consumed with scores, but really, the only score that we need to focus on today was an event that happened last night where our congressional leaders got together for the annual baseball game that I think has been going on since 1909. 32,000 fans showed up for it. And I hate to tell you that for the 6th year in a row, the Republicans have won. Second base had our own West Michigan Congressman, Bill Huizenga. The score was 11-2, but I think at the end of the day, with everything that's going on in DC, I think a comment from a visitor at the game summed it up good. And just saying, while both sides competed fiercely and the game's outcome ultimately came down to one winner on the scoreboard, the organizers and spectators alike saw the larger victory, and the larger victory was $3.2 million was raised for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Washington and the Tim Johnson Memorial Scholarship. So there is hope for our government if they can keep at least doing this. I appreciate all they're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And if you didn't see it, Senator Eric Schmidt made a hell of a nice catch in left field, so you should check that out. Commissioner Womack.
Thank you, Chair Green. I would like to also comment on D. Jones' comment, just to say that I don't totally understand or know what's going on, but I'm just glad to see that people in the community are fighting, as he says, for justice, fighting against poverty. And I'm from the same urban area as Mr. Jones, so I understand the passion. I'm also on the Ready by 5 committee, so I'd like to do a report right quick. I'm so proud of the Ready by 5 committee and all of the people who work throughout the year with Ready by 5 to have our children more literate by the time they start school in their early ages and be ready by 5. So the title goes right along with the mission statement. 4 years ago, we were 22 in the state of Michigan for fourth graders who don't achieve reading status of fourth grade, the reading level. Now we are at 48, the state of Michigan. We are like at the rock bottom. So I just want to continue to support education and let you know that even though a lot of money has come in, if it's not earmarked for the classrooms, for the teachers, that we've still got a lot of work to do in education. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else for Commissioner comments this morning? Commissioner Hennessy.
Thank you. Kudos to the Kent District Library, which organized a free event at the Van Andel Arena Tuesday night, a discussion between authors Kristen Hanna and Megan Chance, author of The Women at the Vermilion Sea. And it was a wonderful discussion, and there were up to 10,000 people there for this free program. And it was absolutely fantastic. It was probably about 99% women who were at the program. And it was in the comments afterwards, as you follow Facebook, the Detroit News, it is really something remarkable for Grand Rapids and the Van Andel Arena and all of us to have pulled off, especially the Kent District Library. They started off with a small auditorium and graduated to the Van Andel Arena, filling up the whole bottom layer and going into the top. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Commissioner Bujak.
Thank you, Chair Green. Just wanted to thank the chairman for
inviting all of us to go to the zoo last week to participate in the Lantern Festival. Quite an amazing event. I talked to many people who were from out of state that came here to Grand Rapids for the purpose of going to the Lantern event. And I talked to a volunteer at the zoo who said that the Lantern event is one of Grand Rapids' best kept secrets to the people of Kent County. And I urge the county citizens to go to the zoo and witness this Lantern event because it's truly amazing. And talking to people that came from out of state, that came here purposefully to stimulate the Grand Rapids economy, stay in hotels and participate in the event. Kudos to all those who do that, but I highly encourage the citizens of this community to go there and witness it also.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'd like to take credit for that, but I had nothing to do with it. It was under the leadership of interim CEO Verheulen and the Zoo Board, so thank you to them. It was a nice event. Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair Green. So this might be a little late and delinquent, but I would like the record to reflect that I do second the motion of Benjamin Franklin at the Constitutional Convention.
250 years later, but so I'm not making a joke about you actually being there, Commissioner, so I didn't make it. Anyone else for Commissioner comments? Yes, Commissioner, Minority Vice Chair Faber.
Thank you, Chair. Just a reminder that the Arts Collaborative of Greater Grand Rapids is actively seeking input for the Arts and Culture Plan that we are partially funding. They have 10 different workshops coming up through the summer for different sector groups. Our sector, the public sector and electeds, is July 14. Please go to ACCGR to get a list of those, communicate them out to your constituents. It's really important that we have full county representation in developing that plan.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, I see none. I'll just say before we close, two things. Housekeeping. Let's say we're going to go for 9:30 for our work session with the Health Department. We do have to get in a plat board meeting real quick in between. I'll also just say thank you to emergency management, fire departments, police, and sheriff. We had a relatively minor weather incident last night. We may have a bigger one tonight, so just to encourage everybody to pay attention to your alerts and get your weather radio and that sort of good thing. We're in the thick of the severe season, but thank you to all those who do the work ahead of time so we're ready and prepared for it, and the utilities too, and linemen and women who are helping keep the power on. So thank you. With that, we'll move to item 13, adjournment, and I will again call on Commissioner LeGrand.
I move that we adjourn this meeting, subject to the call of the chair, to Thursday, June 25 at 8:30 a.m. for an official meeting.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Merchant. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. We are adjourned. We will come back for the work session in 11 minutes.